I'd like to welcome you to the May 28th Code Enforcement and Nuisance Board meeting. I'm Randy Deere. Let's go ahead and call roll, please.
Deere.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Dearbone.
Yes.
Wilder. Thomas.
Here.
Okay, have you had an opportunity to look over the minutes from the February 19th meeting? We need to do that first before we do the minutes. Okay, all right. We need to swear everybody in. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing else but the truth. Help you God. Thank you. Okay. Now, approval for the minutes from the February 2019 meeting. Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or adjustments?
Recommend approval if there's none. Excuse me.
Thomas. Dearbone. Was that correct? I'm sorry.
Simpson.
Okay. Trying to fix a little problem. Okay. Deere.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Dearbone.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Okay. On hearing agenda 1, case 1, case 2019-3053, citation 2019-5676. The address is 518 Regents Avenue. The owner is Dennis and Beverly Sechrist. Respondent, Dennis Sechrist. And the officer is James Hetty. Officer Hetty?
Yes, thank you, gentlemen.
Officer Hetty?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm James Hetty with the City County Planning Commission. Thank you. November the 27th, 2018, I received some complaints reference to some properties, and one of the properties was 518 Regents Avenue. Had a complaint of a shared gravel parking area and driveway with 516 and 518 Regents Avenue. Pictured on the PowerPoint is the complaint. It actually has a post-it right there that has it complaint drawn out. James. In December the 10th, I went out And I documented there is gravel in the front of the property, which through research, James, research showed that it's non-conforming. The ordinance requires a parked area of hard surface. So with gravel, it wouldn't be in violation of the ordinance. On the PowerPoint, there's June the 2012. It's got a street view, and it shows the front yard has grass and the driveway in between the 2016 and 2018. Yeah. The June 2015 street view shows a picture of grass in the front yard and the driveway in between the 516 and the 518. And there's a closer look for June the 2015. And the street view for June the 2015. This is a close-up, and it shows actually the dirt and the grass in the front yard. There's a timeline that I've had right there on the summary, but basically what it is the grass park or the gravel parking is non-conforming to the zoning ordinance, and from the street view, it appears the gravel had been added. Therefore, it's non-compliant with the ordinance. I had a follow-up inspection. The NOV was, I'm sorry, that was the follow-up inspection was April the 1st, and still this was after 90-day notice of violation, and it's still the same way, no improvements. And there's the notice of violation with the 90-day reinspection date. And therefore, non-compliance and brings us here.
Let's go back to the June 2015 picture, if you don't mind. So that's in compliance right there, that picture.
That is with the gravel in the driveway, not in the front yard. So that is in compliance.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes, sir.
So now let's go back to the latest picture of April 2019. So this is where it's not in compliance.
That's correct.
Where the gravel is and the grass are together.
That's correct, sir.
So what would make this compliant?
There's a couple options. Take up the gravel and return it back to the front yard and use the gravel driveway that had been established in there. Or there's different requirements reference to the paved area. It can be paved with asphalt, concrete, brick pavers, pervious material, or similar permeable paving material is what the parking standard for the ordinance requires. So to bring that up to ordinance, either remove the gravel or modify it with one of the hard surface paving materials.
Question, is that driveway for two vehicles, two homes?
I believe it is shared. It's 516 and 518 Regents Avenue.
And so is the present driveway gravel that I'm looking at here?
Yes, sir. The driveway is gravel, but the parking area in the front of the house is It wasn't there in the street view, the other photos.
Right. I guess I'm trying to get the grasp of why it's not in compliant. Is it because the grass is growing through it? Is it because there was not a work order for it, or I'm just,
Yes, sir. It's out of compliant because it's, gravel has been added, and the ordinance requires a hard surface. So just putting down gravel and parking on it would be contrary to the zoning ordinance that we've got established.
Put gravel down and drive on it?
The gravel driveway the gravel driveway is legally non-conforming in that it's been there established before our ordinance was adopted in 2001.
so it's been grandfathered in?
So that's another
term,
question. Yeah,
slang
another
term, I
term
guess.
is grandfathered in, legally non-conforming. So it can stay like that. If any changes are made, then it nullifies the grandfathering, and the property will then need to be required to adhere to the present zoning compliance or zoning ordinance. So that's why the driveway is fine. It's the added gravel in the yard that would make it non-compliant. Sorry, I didn't.
That's all right. Thank you.
And when did this gravel become in the driveway? Because we see 2015, it was grass. When did this transformation take place?
It's hard to put a number on it. There's different aerials that I look at. That street view had 2012, 2015, and 2018. 2018, it was, I believe it was on there. It was the 2015 that it didn't show represented. So in between that time frame.
Somewhere between 2015 and 2018.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct. Yes, sir.
Now, ordinance came into being,
2001.
Okay.
I believe July, June.
okay. All righty.
Okay. Any other discussion, questions? Mr. Hetty?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Segrist,
I didn't swear in while ago.
you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay.
State your name, please.
Dennis Segrist, owner of 518 Regents Avenue, lived there 13 years. I wanted to ask some questions before I got started. I came up in March. The only two people that were here for the meeting in March was me and the cleaning lady. I couldn't find where the meeting had been canceled. I come again in April, and the front doors to the building were locked. I don't really, can somebody address how we're supposed to find out if there's a code enforcement meeting or not?
That would be posted on the doors, the front and back doors here to the building, and the only other notification that we send out is to the newspapers and to the news stations. So that would be the only notification that is sent out to.
Do the newspapers publish it? I've never seen it.
No, sir.
I didn't think so.
That's the only
I
notification
don't believe
that
it
I
was
have
on the
ever
door
been
in
told.
April, and I know I didn't see it
I'm
in
not
March.
sure. I'm not sure, sir.
Okay.
The city
I
clerk
just wanted
posts
to know.
that for us.
And then today I looked for this morning I looked early for the agenda and couldn't find it and had to come over here.
Yes.
And you probably sent it over to the lady who
I
gave it to me.
I did. I
And
did
then you
not have a
posted
chance
it
to post
online
it.
after that, is that correct?
Right. I didn't have a
Okay.
chance to post it last week before I left for the holiday,
Okay.
so I apologize for that.
Okay.
But yes, I always try to post it online. And then if we do have a canceled meeting, it's supposed to be posted on the front and back door of City Hall.
I have to drive down to City Hall to see it.
It's not posted on the website. No, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I wanted to bring pictures of the building or at another date, another thing, how would I go about bringing pictures? Do I bring a CD or to plug into the system so that they can be seen?
For this specific case,
Well, any case, if, you know,
for a
David,
complaint or
David tell
something
you, I've
like
been
that?
down here before, it's not new.
yes, for a complaint, to file a complaint or something like that?
No, not to
or-
file a complaint, to
Okay.
defend myself. Could have I brought pictures of the house? How would I bring them? So that they could be
I'm just trying to understand what they would be for. I don't know what
The
purpose
same
they
way
would serve.
y'all put photos up there of the house, I would like to put photos
There
that
would
I,
need to be a case in front of the board for that specific case for them to be shown.
I could have brought photos today of this.
Yes.
And
Oh,
how would
yeah.
I get
You
them up
could-
on the
you-
screen?
You could bring them up here, yeah, you could bring them to me, to the 707 East Main Street.
They're on the hill?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then I could,
Do I bring it
load
in the
'em on the
form
thumb
of
drive,
a
and then I
computer
could-
or a little stick or?
either way.
or
You
a
could put 'em
CD, any of
either
them?
way.
Okay.
And I could load them up for you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I'll clarify this a little bit further, right here. I'll clarify this a little further. Even if you didn't do all that stuff and you had photos with you right now, you could have a little 4x6 photos. You could give them to the clerk, give them to the
scan 'em?
attorney, and they'd personally
Okay.
look at them individually.
We could
So
pass
you could
'em
do
out,
it either
pass
way
'em
you want.
around. for
I've
you.
never heard anybody ask or say anything. Y'all always said photos, and I thought, well, if I had photos in my house, which I have, I probably got Christmas lights on it or something in the photo.
Sure.
But,
Sure.
okay. I have some other things that I would like to introduce, and I have a copy too. And then I have a drawing that that the city sent me when they put the new sidewalks in out front. And I'm not sure if everybody's understanding where the property lines are and what's there. I'll give you time to look at that, and everyone look at it, and I'll try to explain if they don't get the lines, property lines. What you'll probably look and see is what he's calling my driveway is not a driveway at all. It is a private alley that runs between 516 and 518 and goes on back, turns left and comes out in Mimosa Alley. It too is gravel all the way back to Mimosa.
So do people park here in that alley, as you have just called it?
I'm not there. I can't control some of the photos he showed or not.
No, I'm asking.
I didn't even have it rented last year.
Sir,
when
I'm
we took
asking,
pictures.
do people park here?
I'm sure they do. People park
Okay.
everywhere.
Okay.
Do you think they park everywhere when you're not looking?
I just asked a question. Is this a driveway or an alley? If
It's
it's
an
an
alley.
alley, do people park in this
It is
alley?
an alley.
Do people in this home park in that alley?
They park in that alley, they park in Mimosa Alley, they park with two wheels in the ditch in Mimosa Alley,
Thank
and there's
you.
no parking signs next to it. I've seen I can't get Horse's last name out. I've seen him park over by the president of the university's house under the sign that says no parking this side of the street. Yeah, it's Western, people park everywhere.
Stand. Go ahead. Proceed.
I'm gonna let everybody look at the drawing, and we're gonna finish with I lived there 13 years. Our driveway was in front of the house.
So same question I asked him, when did it go from having grass in the front of this house to gravel?
It's always had gravel in front of the house. That is where the parking's been in front of the house.
So then
Didn't
the
show it
picture,
June- It did not show it June of 2015.
yeah, that picture shows something completely different.
And I asked Mr. Hetty, you come up now, so everybody can hear you. I assume that you're familiar with gravel driveways. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a gravel driveway?
I do.
You have a gravel driveway. The answer was yes.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Just so everybody hears it. When you build a gravel driveway, you just put the gravel down and that's it. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you ever bring more gravel in?
Yes.
Why? Because the grass grows up through it?
No,
No?
it washes
Okay.
off.
It washes off.
I live on
That
a
is why
hillside.
there's more gravel over there, is because it washed off and the gravel grows up through it. Now, in the middle of a driveway, it leads back a long ways. Usually the tires cause ruts, is that correct? They'll cause a rut, and there will be grass growing in the center.
The photos I saw were the whole front yard, so it's not.
No, there's
just-
It's not less, it's less than 25% of the front yard.
Okay.
So when you have a driveway and you drive down it, generally, the grass will grow up in the center of it because the tires do not move the rocks around. Is that correct?
Okay, yes, sir.
How long does it take that grass to grow up?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay? When you took pictures here, you took a photo 3 months ago and there was no grass, and we come back now and there's grass. So the grass comes up every year through the gravel. Is that correct? If we look back at your photos from November, December to now,
I
the
believe-
grass has grown up through it.
I believe
and
I
like-
had a close-up from the street view for 2015 that showed the dirt
The
and the
dirt was
grass.
there because the city had dug up the front yard and put sidewalks in and dumped it all over. I lived there for 13 years. Where do you think we parked?
Mr. Segrist, let me interrupt and ask a question. Are you referring to the fact that the city put the sidewalks in and they dumped the gravel from the sidewalks in your front yard? Is that what you just stated?
No, sir, there was gravel where the sidewalks were. They dumped the dirt there. If you look, I would have had 7 more foot of parking in the yard, but I can't allow people to park on top of the sidewalk. So I was forcibly evicted by the city from that 7 foot of sidewalk, which is the right of way, which I understand. That's what this drawing was about, is that they come in to do that. Now, the other thing I noticed on the drawing is they did not give me an entryway to my driveway. They
How
gave
long has the gravel been in your front yard?
1932, when they put it there,
And didn't look like it was there
it was touched up. Mr. Hetty just talked about touching the gravel up. I believe, is that
In
correct?
this
In your
picture.
driveway, you would?
Doesn't look like there's gravel in that picture.
I just asked how quick the grass grew up.
Look, let's get to the point. Let's get to the point of why we're here. Let's go back to the picture of April 2019. I see gravel in the front yard.
See
That's
grass
in
growing up.
violation.
There's
You're in
grass.
violation. It's your property, it's in violation, based upon the code. That's my
Only
understanding.
if it was not there when the code was done in 2001. Is that correct?
No, it's
It's a yes or no question?
this is extremely subjective based on 2 pictures. June 2015, April 2019. In June 2015, I don't see any gravel in the grass. April 2019, I see a car sitting on gravel in the grass. So therefore, to me, it seems like it's in violation.
Your
Has
driveway at
anything been-
home, where that grass is running down the center of it right now,
Let me ask
is in violation.
Excuse me, sir. Let me ask another question. Would you like for that to be a driveway where you could park a car where it once was
It's a
grass?
driveway. It's where I parked for 13 years.
You said earlier it was an alley.
Pardon me?
You said earlier that was an alley.
There's an alley next to it. Look at the drawing. The lot runs like this. The lot doesn't run like this from the street. Look at your drawing.
So, Mr. Segrist, so since that car is right there and that's where you said you've been parking for 13 years, if it's not in compliance as it's been stated, would you be willing to turn that into concrete or something more flat to where it is
That's
in
why we're
compliance?
here. If I concreted, it would be done.
So I'm asking, so you would not be willing to do that if we vote that it is still in compliance?
Because everything that's out of compliance is going to stay out of compliance just like it is.
All right.
Move on. I'm going to have to read a little bit because I've already. My son and I came down to your all's office, to Planning and Zoning office, is that correct? Back right after we got it, maybe the next week. Talked to y'all. There were several in the block that were turned in, is that correct? Turned in for having rock. Is that correct?
Complaints.
Do you know how many complaints there were?
I believe there's 18.
We won't hold it to 18, but approximately 18. Out of the 18, how many have been resolved before we made it up here?
two today that I saw.
Can you tell me which
Today.
two,
Yes.
what happened?
Regents 520 paved.
Okay. He
and
widened his driveway.
And 1679 Chestnut.
Is that the corner house or?
Yes, sir.
And that's.
Mr. Chair,
Downey's al-
I
Mr. Downey's
think
also-
I've heard enough of this. I'd like to make a motion that the citation stand and the fine stands.
Second.
You can't do that. I'm not done, so when we go to appeal,
Yes, you are.
thank you. I was wondering about Judge John Minton's. Wasn't he fined, or not fined, but cited? Supreme Court Judge John Minton, didn't his property get cited? Wasn't it one of the 18? Yes or no? You're under oath?
No.
You did
Counselor,
not.
we've got a motion on the floor.
You have a motion on the floor?
Thank you.
Thomas Simpson.
Quiet now. Mr. Roderick, you need to
Unless
tell
you
me.
have, if you have anything else you want to present, they'll consider it, but all you're being is argumentative at this point in time.
Asking. I parked there. Yeah, we'll just stay a while. I have lots of questions.
You have an appropriate.
Thomas Simpson.
The city of Bowling Green dug a ditch down Mimosa Alley for drainage.
Excuse me, sir.
They did 5 driveways,
Excuse me, sir.
and they threw
Mr.
rock in all the
Segrist?
driveways. Yes, sir.
Mr. Segrist,
Yes, sir.
we have a motion on the floor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I asked David if I need to be
We do.
quiet.
Yes, there's a motion on the floor.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Deere.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Dearbone.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Segrist, you can get with
I don't
Ms.
get to
Joyner.
testify anymore? We're through? Already got the fine. I was mailed a fine, a bill, and I'll be mailing all of y'all a bill. And then if you ever hire me, I'll have the money, because y'all mailed me a bill before this was passed. Did you realize that? It's a bill. I think I gave y'all a copy of it there. No, it said that I owed it. Okay. Am I allowed to talk now? Y'all can leave, and I'll just keep talking.
Yes, you really don't want to do
Is the meeting over?
this. Part of the meeting is over.
Thank you, Mr. Segrist, for your
Thank
time.
y'all.
Okay. Any old business? None. New business. We have, are these, the new business, is this mowing?
Owen?
It is, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, can we take that all, can we take this as a motion all at once?
Should be able to do so, yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we accept them as presented.
Second.
Thomas. Dearbone. Deere.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Dearbone.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Okay, any other comments or announcements?
Mr. Chairman, I do have, once that's done, I didn't mean to interrupt that.
Okay.
But before we close tonight, I need to go into closed session. I need to discuss some former pending litigation that is now over and explain some things too.
So at this time, we'll go into closed session.
Motion to go into, make a motion to go into closed session.
Second.
Thomas. Simpson. Deere.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Dearbone.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Ben, we're going.